We have to have the advantage in transition. By that I mean they should not score, okay? We should be back every time, and we should be able to push the ball. We have to play faster, quicker, and harder than they do to win this game. Cut our turnovers down, all right? Keep fighting with our defense. We will hit a stretch where we make a lot of shots if we get stops and if we get out in transition.
Orlando Magic still without a fast break point through 6 quarters of these NBA Finals. We're at halftime of Game 2. Lakers have taken Game 1 and have a 5-point lead as we get set for the start of the 3rd quarter from the Staples Center. Dwight Howard working on the free throws. They're the only shots he's been able to knock down as his Magic down by 5. Hi again, everyone, with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. Mike Green on hand. We'll check in with Doris Burke in just a moment. Magic had a couple of things they needed to change from Game 1. Points in the paint, defending that. They did better at that. Rebounding, they did much better at that. Still not shooting the ball well. But despite doing some of these things better, they're still down by 5, Jeff.
Well, your defense can only hold the fort for so long. But as we heard Stan say, they've got to play faster, and it goes both ways. Dwight Howard, as he's running back, can't point at Pau Gasol. He's got to sprint back and kick out Turkoglu and Lewis to the perimeter so Trevor Ariza doesn't get this semi-transition three-point shot. Here again, allowing frustration offensively to impact your defensive effort. Again, pointing to Gasol instead of running back and guarding Gasol. Listen, the Magic are going nowhere unless they get all out from Dwight Howard on every possession.
That was our Gatorade cooler talk. Well, they finally got something going with one of their other All-Stars, Rashard Lewis, Mark.
Oh, absolutely. But if I'm Rashard Lewis, I say, hey, we all been invited to the party. Somebody get on the dance floor with me because he's put on a clinic so far in this ballgame. Bad Laker defense. Rashard Lewis, wide open jump shots. He is the #1 threat for the Orlando Magic. This is just moving without the basketball, missed assignments, basketball moves, good job of being ready to lock and load. Rashard Lewis put on a clinic, knocking down shots. Aggressive, patient, got away, and when the ball found him, he did the rest. They need somebody else to help him on the offensive end.
And you see Lewis again, he had 20 points, the rest of the team had 15, knocking down some three-pointers. As Lewis, the one guy for the Magic to finally explode.
He was 8 for 12. Everyone else on the Magic, 4 for 25.
Ariza, shot won't go. Bynum tries to keep it alive, knocked out of his hands. Meanwhile, again, Mark, the Lakers, the story throughout the postseason, after a big win like they had in Game 1, do they come back with the same ferocity as Howard goes across and dumps it in? Did you see that from them in the first half?
Well, I saw it in spurts. But those shots by Rashard Lewis, that was bad defense. Kobe Bryant and Derek Fisher just before the half talked about it. There's nothing you can do. There's no adjustments there other than finding your man and contesting his shot.
Bryant puts it in. Bryant, a quiet 6 points. Looked to distribute more in the first half. He had 5 assists. And the Lakers back up by 5. Here's the quarter in Game 1 where the game was blown open. Turkoglu, nice move to the basket. Turkoglu, who's really struggled shooting, able to get that one to go.
Well, that's where he has to be effective. North-south rather than east-west. He has to put the ball on the floor and look to make plays towards the paint.
As we said in Game 1, Turkoglu's like Odom as Howard deflects it. When Turkoglu plays well, Magic are a tough team to beat. Austin sidesteps Fisher, and just like that, it's a one-point game. And that's their first fast break point of these finals.
Those fast break points, Mike, are so unreliable. You can't trust them. Trevor Ariza's 3 in the first half should have been a fast break 3. They only got credited with 2 fast break points the whole quarter.
Sometimes a misleading stat, you think?
The most.
The most. All right, let's check in with Doris.
Well, guys, as you can imagine, Brendan Malone, the sentiments expressed by our guys very much the same as his. Difficult time finding a way to score. Jeff, you mentioned in the first half, when they entered the ball into the post and got cutters off that, they were pleased with that action. They'll try to do more of that. They also talked about beating them up the floor, picking up the tempo. We'll see how they do here, guys.
All right, well, Lewis picked up the tempo in the second quarter. Picks up the pace there as he draws the foul. And he'll go to the free throw line for the first time. Rashard Lewis, who grew up in Houston, was a big Rockets fan, says that's what he remembers most from the finals as a kid. He remembers in '95 when the Rockets beat the Orlando Magic. And of course, today is it's the anniversary. 14 years ago today, the Orlando Magic played Game 1 of the NBA Finals against Houston. That was a game they were up by 20 in the first half and lost it in overtime, wound up getting swept. So they are still, as a franchise, without a Finals victory, 0 for 5.
I like the way they're coming out in this second half. Pushing the ball in transition, that's where they can be most dangerous against this Laker team. And then Turkoglu in pick-and-roll situations, making plays.
And they've regained the lead. They trailed by as many as 7 in that first half. Bryant, hand at his face, knocks it down. He had 18 in the third quarter in Game 1. He's off to a quick start here in this third quarter.
Listen, that's good defense, better offense. He's just too big.
Lewis got hit. As he tried to get past Gasol, they didn't call it. A little shaken up. Austin not close. Turkoglu tried to get the rebound.
I think he got kneed in the thigh, Mike, which is very painful.
Bryant, aggressive offensively. Turnaround shot, in and out, and in again. Here he goes.
Think about it, if you're Courtney Lee, you're thinking, oh, no, not again.
He outscored the Magic all by himself in that third period of Game 1, 18 to 15. He's got 6 points in less than 3 minutes here.
And Stan Van Gundy not wasting time, getting Peaches back into the ball game to defend Bryant.
Where Ariza has done a very good job on Turkoglu. Gets it from behind. Turkoglu draws a foul. And that's 4 on Bynum.
I'm not sure if that's good for Orlando or bad for Orlando.
Good point, especially with the way Lamar Odom's playing.
And that's a foul. You know, jumping towards Turkoglu. Turkoglu takes the hit. How many teams in this league where the starting big man gets in foul trouble, they bring in another big and actually get better?
Well, I remember when Stan was coaching Lamar back in Miami. He always thought he was a top 30 player in this league because of his versatility, because he could drive it, he could post it. He was an, erratic shooter, but he could shoot it. And also, you never could face any pressure because he could handle and bring it and act like a point guard. So you could, the versatility that he brought to the game, he thought made it easy to coach the whole team.
And this year, he is a free agent, and at first wasn't happy coming off the bench, but then played it well, did some starting. As Kobe Bryant pulls up again, not that time. And Ray Austin nearly tipped it to Ariza. Why wouldn't he just grab that? Howard gets it deep, and a reach-in foul called on Kobe Bryant.
Well, right there, Dwight Howard has to read the defense better. He had an easy left-handed shot, but he turned back into Gasol. Here he has him sealed. Just go shoot your left hand jump hook going to the basket.
He's had a bunch of balls banged out of his hands a couple of times. Now single coverage against Gasol. Here comes Fisher to help out. Nearly got away with a travel. Petrus off the dribble. Gets it to go. Petrus' first field goal.
I like the way Dwight Howard's passing the ball out of the post, Mark. It's leading to some good shots.
That's how you make guys better on the floor. Take the double team, get rid of the basketball.
Gasol puts it in. Well, Howard would have had a few more assists. He had 2 in Game 1. He's got 2 here if they knock down some shots.
That's why assists sometimes are difficult, too, as Petrus drives to the rim. Because if a guy doesn't make a shot or he gets fouled, he doesn't get credit for a very good play.
Bryant to Ariza. Ariza on the drive, gets to the goal. Howard got caught on a Gasol screen. Seven and a half remaining in the third. Pace is picked up. Austin wide open. Boy, Austin hasn't even been close. 1 for 6 now from the field after a rough Game 1. Gasol is shaken up down the other end and slow coming up the floor. Austin now 0 for 6 from three-point range in the finals. Fisher to the basket. Boy, that one was going to say too easy, but he blew the layup. And here comes Austin the other way. Austin quickly to the basket. Blocked by Odom. Ariza the rebound. Bryant had it poked away by Lewis. Rashard Lewis keeping Orlando close in this one. Howard double team. block, a jump ball. They're going to call a jump ball as Odom with his third block.
See Dwight Howard on the post. You see 3 Lakers around him. Upset there was no call. Good job by Lamar Odom staying down.
When he spins, to me, he's got to bring that ball up higher so the little guards like Fisher can't have an impact and try to strip.
That's what I said earlier. He's had it stripped a number of times, and usually that's where it's stripped. Wins the tip. Howard wants the ball again. Gasol trying to poke it away. Shot clock down to 4. Down to 2. Turkoglu has to put up a 2-pointer. Rattles it in. Hedo Turkoglu from long distance.
Well, you see what Stan Van Gundy said in the locker room at halftime. Hey, we're going to make shots. Continue to trust your offense.
Bryant drives past Petrus. Kicks it out to Gasol. Pau Gasol to the basket. Blocked the foul by Turkoglu. Free throws for the Lakers. They've only been there 7 times.
You know, if I'm Dwight Howard, I'm telling assistant coach Pat Ewing, 1 week vacation, and then you and I, night in and night out, working on my post game. You want to be great, that's what you do.
By the way, before the game, I asked Patrick Ewing, who was an assistant coach under you, Jeff, in Houston, and now with Stan, I said, what are the similarities between the two? He said they're both grumpy. And I said, what are the differences? He said, Stan's not grumpy in the offseason.
Wow.
I'm just the messenger on this one.
I hope TV puts on that extra 15 pounds. And it's not how he looks.
Oh.
Come on, if you're going to go at me, I'm coming back at you.
Austin for 3. And again, Austin cannot hit from outside. Magic 5 of 19 from 3-point range, just 26%.
And those were the same shots against Cleveland that were going in. It's a make or miss league. They've got to stick with it, not get frustrated until they start making.
Shot clock down to 6. Gasol against Lewis. Left-handed blocked by Howard. His third rejection.
These are the worst fast breaks I've ever seen run.
Howard, and there it is, his first dunk of these finals. It took him until the 3rd quarter of game 2.
I'm sorry, but you got 4 on 2. I don't care what guard has it. You got to be able to make the right decision and the right play. Center the ball in the middle of the floor and make a play.
Especially when you have a big man running the floor. It's an easy, fast break. They have to execute.
Lakers by 1. Fisher. Still dribbling. Keeps it alive nicely. Gasol. Shot clock at 7. Ariza on the drive. Way off the mark. And Howard with his 12th rebound.
Well, their defense has been outstanding.
Turkoglu back out to Petrus. Dangerous pass to Lewis. Ariza with the steal. Fisher, Ariza, touch pass to Bryant. There's a fast break. And the Magic want timeout. Trevor Ariza's defense once again leading to points for the Lakers.
Poor Orlando Magic offense, but give Trevor Ariza credit. Active hands off to the races, centers the basketball to the point guard, no charge, hands it off to Kobe Bryant. Outstanding job of running the fast break. Take notes, Orlando Magic.
Kobe Bryant had 40 in game 1. Quiet in the first half, but starting to come alive here in this 3rd quarter for the Lakers. He's got 8 points already in the period.
Well, Bryant senses that he has a size advantage over Courtney Lee. Lee, very good defense. Bryant just remarkably skilled. 2 jump shots and then the well-executed fast break off a Magic turnover.
A big ovation here at the Staples Center. They just put up Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the big screen. Gets a nice ovation from the sold-out crowd.
Well deserved, too. My 4 kids are at the game. My youngest one, as Kareem walked by, he said, "Who's that?" I put him on punishment tomorrow.
No, he should have been put immediately into timeout.
Lewis fakes, then sets, and misses badly. Fisher the rebound.
If you're as hot as Rashard Lewis, you're not hesitant on that three. You're shooting that three.
Bryant to the basket, puts it up. Shot rolls off the rim. Boy, bodies flying all over the place, and they call a loose ball foul on Odom.
And I like how Orlando's competing. They just got to hit a run offensively, and they've got to get better guard play.
Hey, you think about it, if you're Stan Van Gundy down 3, and you really have missed shots all series long.
Howard. Back up top, Turkoglu. Good look. Knocks down the 3, and it's tied again.
Once again, Dwight Howard inside-outside attack. They're going to double team you, take the double team, and make the play.
Turkoglu coming alive. He's got 9 points in the period. Ball deflected by Jameer Nelson. Nelson back in the game.
Find a way to make your team better. Dwight Howard puts it on the floor. It's a setup. Take the double team on point to a rhythm shooter. Good job of running your offense.
Right, he did a great job of stepping through that double team, and Ariza has to seal that double team a lot harder.
Beatrice on Kobe Bryant. Howard high for the rebound. Number 13 on the boards for Howard. Nelson. And Fisher picks up his second. Lakers in the penalty. Jameer Nelson will shoot free throws. Log on to NBA.com now for the most extensive NBA Finals coverage and in-depth highlights of tonight's Magic Lakers matchup, along with up-to-date scores, stats, and schedules from the 2009 NBA Finals. NBA.com. The game happens here. Nelson will go to the line for the first time in 4 months. Didn't shoot free throws in game 1. As he gets that one. You know, all the talk about him coming back because he's now the backup point guard. Anthony Johnson, who was a terrific backup all season, is no longer in the rotation. But Nelson went to both Alston and Johnson before coming back to make sure it was okay with him. He's that kind of teammate.
Are you kidding me? I'm not asking those guys.
I think it's a nice gesture.
What is that about? What if they said no? You're not going to play in the finals?
Well, just let them know he's sensitive to their play.
Well, just say that. I'm sensitive to your play, but I'm better than you, so I'm playing.
Gasol on a switch inside, hacked by Howard as Howard picks up his second.
No, that's ultimate fake hustle. I mean, if you're Jameer Nelson, you don't. No, it's about winning. You have put yourself in a position to be back and to help your team win a championship. Is it okay for Rafe Alston and Anthony Johnson? Are you kidding me?
What, was this guy going to run for mayor of Orlando next? I mean, come on. One job at a time.
He's a popular guy. Maybe that's the reason why he has more sensitivity than you two. As Gasol hits the first free throw. Magic by 1. 3:07 remaining here in the third.
I'm just wondering, what if Anthony Johnson said, no, I'm not good with that?
Would have had no choice.
And I don't think he's good with it, actually. That's all right, Anthony. You've been in the finals twice. He's like, I can shoot straighter than those two guys right now.
Tied at 56, under 3 minutes remaining here in the third. Turkoglu, that's good from 3. Hedo Turkoglu with 12 points here in this third period. And the Orlando Magic, their largest lead of the game.
But I like what the Magic are doing on the offensive end. They are using Dwight Howard as a decoy. So he's getting his touches, and the Lakers are doing them a favor by double teaming, leaving shooters open.
Nelson, bad pass. Ariza with another steal.
And you're right, Mark. It's not always about scoring. It's about running good offense, and that's good offense, and it's going to get him more room as Odom knocks in another jumper. He keeps making him pay with those passes out of the post. He'll have more space to work with.
1 point Orlando lead coming up on 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Turkoglu works out. Turkoglu fakes, drives, a floater. Tough shot, won't go. Gortat trying to keep it alive, but Bryant comes away. Kobe Bryant had a hot start to the third. Gasol Howard may have gotten a piece of it. Odom keeps it alive. And a loose ball foul is going to go against Odom.
That's actually a great call. Lamar Odom, as he was falling down, grabbed the arms of the Orlando Magic.
That's his third.
Well, chasing down a loose rebound, realizes he could not get it. Well, if I'm not going to get it, you guys are coming down with me.
Steve Javie right there on it. Meanwhile, Hedo Turkoglu starting to find the range, Jeff.
Well, again, good passes, and the important part is he's passing it on target so Turkoglu can shoot the ball in rhythm. Magic up 1.
Lead by 1. Having Phil Jackson to talk to his team during a recent timeout.
Get some traction when you're out there. Everything's been futile at the offensive end. All right, we got to get ourselves in the flow. The offense has to flow. They want up-tempo, and they just started moving the ball a little bit harder. We have to run with them. All right, make some shots. Let's go.
Well, make some shots. That's what Orlando is finally doing. Kobe Bryant did it to start the third, but Hedo Turkoglu has come alive. And boy, do they need him to play well if they have any hopes of winning this series. And Gortat will go to the line. Off the foul by Odom. Lakers men in the penalty. Marcin Gortat, the third player from Poland to play in an NBA game in his second year in the league. He's going to be a free agent. And he's done an excellent job this year as the backup center. He sent his hometown in Germany. Now they're actually wearing Orlando Magic jerseys. That's never happened before, he said, but the playoff run has them even excited back there in Soccer Town.
Sure they're not excited about him missing 2 free throws.
I wonder whose jersey they're wearing.
His jersey.
I'm thinking it's Dwight Howard.
We'll try and get an update on that for the next game. Bryant drills it. He's got 10 here in the third. Luke Walton now in on Turkoglu. Nelson bumped back out to Turkoglu. Howard wants it. Alley-oop to Howard and lays it in. Perfect pass from Turkoglu because Howard was actually guarded well.
And Pau Gasol upset with himself. Understands anytime Howard is on that block, you cannot allow the lob. They're looking to set that up. They get away with it.
Howard with 6 of his 10 in the period. Kobe Bryant misses. Turkoglu the rebound. Rebounding numbers critical for Orlando. +9 after getting really beaten badly in game 1 on that department. Nelson gets in. The floater. Pretty play from Jameer Nelson. And the Magic have a 3-point lead.
The Lakers force all the pick and rolls to the baseline. So when you can get over the top, you can get deep penetration like Jameer Nelson just did.
Fisher, good, wide open 3. Puts it in. Tied it in.
And it's Kobe Bryant offensively making plays. Dribble penetration, finding Fisher.
Shot clock and game clock nearly identical. Turkoglu gets around a couple of defenders off the dribble, knocks it down.
Shot it far too early.
Kobe Bryant, final seconds. Fires a 3. Just off the mark. And the Magic with 30 points, their highest scoring quarter so far through the first 7 periods of the finals. Hedo Turkoglu largely responsible. He had 17 of the 30. And while Kobe Bryant got it going as well, he had 10 points in that period. 3 quarters complete here in game 2.
Making plays on the offensive end. You love Turkoglu's dribble penetration. Outstanding quarter for the Magic.
Phil Jackson, they just had their highest scoring quarter. Hedo Turkoglu was very effective. How?
Well, we were doubling on the post a couple times, trying to help out Andrew to start with, and then Powell later on, and they stepped into the open 3s.
Coach, you talked about getting a flow at the last time out on the offensive end. How do you trigger that?
Moving the ball. Got to move the ball a little better.
Thank you. Mike.
Moving the ball for the Orlando Magic has made a difference in their big 3, all with poor performances in game 1. But tonight, Lewis in the second quarter, Turkoglu in the third. Howard, now he only has 10 points, but he's got 14 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 3 block shots. He's starting to do a lot of everything.
Oh, he absolutely is. Doing a great job on the boards, also finding guys. This is when the Magic are at their best.
Shannon Brown getting his first appearance. Brown has played very well as a third point guard. Luke Walton is on Lewis. Here comes the help from Odom. Good triple team. Lewis gets it out. Nelson on the penetration. Drives inside and draws the foul. And he'll go to the line. If it's Tom Bynum. Nope, they call it on Shannon Brown. That would have been Bynum's 5th.
And to me, you can tell the importance of game 2 here. Dwight Howard, no rest at the start of the 4th quarter. Kobe Bryant, no rest at the start of the 4th quarter.
Now Nelson misses the free throw. We talked throughout game 1 while they were getting pummeled by 25 how the Orlando Magic, every time they get beat, they bounce back. Well, their worst performance of the playoffs prior to game 1, they lost in game 2 in Boston by 18. They came back and won game 3 by 21. They're a very, very resilient team. They don't get discouraged. They come back and attack, and that's what they've done here at the Staples Center in game 2 tonight. Odom the drive. Pretty move, Lamar Odom.
And how momentum changes. Gortat, 2 missed free throws. Then Nelson, 2 missed free throws. Who does Stan play down the stretch as your point guard?
Howard. Bynum guarding him again with 4 fouls. Howard spinning. Blocked from behind. I think Bryant got a piece. Here comes Odom again. Alley-oop goes to Bynum but misses. Just over a minute gone by here in the 4th. Can the Lakers take a 2-0 lead? Or the Magic get a huge road win and tie this series at a game apiece? Gortat wide open and not even close, but Howard gets it. As Odom just wrapped him up by his legs. Odom picks up his 4th foul. So some foul difficulties for the Lakers. Odom and Bynum each with 4. Turkoglu's going to return now for Orlando.
And see Dwight Howard on the post. Kobe Bryant converging, contesting the shot. Makes life tough for Dwight Howard, not allowing him to play one-on-one. Phil Jackson into the game plan.
To me, he's hand on that play to get some separation.
Turkoglu draws the foul. Nice smart play from Hedo Turkoglu. And he'll go to the line as Walton picks up his 3rd.
And I like the idea of Stan Van Gundy not playing 2 bigs right now. Gortat is a guy that's not knocking down shots. You need scoring on the floor.
They're 12 of 18 from the free throw line. Make it 12 of 19. Fans, poll still open for tonight's Finals Player of the Game voting, presented by T-Mobile. Text the last name of your choice for Player of the Game to 69622. From any wireless phone now, voting closes at the end of the game. Magic have now missed 5 straight free throws until Turkoglu hits that one.
And that's the difference between being in a 1-point game and having a little cushion for the inevitable Kobe Bryant run.
Odom inside, flips it up and in. Oh, tough shot from Odom. He's 6 of 7 from the field. This game has been close throughout. Largest lead by either team is 7. Gortat, nice feed inside from Lewis. And Gortat with his first field goal.
And that's how you run the pick and roll to perfection. The guy coming off the screen is not your job to make the home run play. The extra pass.
Bryant has Pietrus on him. Bryant 7 of 15 from the field. Walton, dangerous pass, knocked away by Nelson. Odom gets it back and puts it up and in. Lamar Odom emerging with big plays here in the second half.
You know, the way Lamar Odom is playing, I'm going to start eating more candy.
Lewis drives inside the runner. Tough shot won't go. Bryant the rebound. Odom's got that sweet tooth. The recent feature on him showed how much candy he eats before, during, and after the game. Bryant won't go for the foul. And Pietrus picks up his 4th.
Just making plays. When he's aggressive, looking to make plays on the offensive end, confident and comfortable. Does a good job of not waiting to get the ball to Kobe Bryant, but he feels like, hey, I'm going to make a play offensively. That's when he completes them as a team.
Kobe Bryant the other day saying, I want it so bad, getting that 4th championship as he gets the free throw. Phil Jackson saying he's been very quiet. Well, maybe he's quiet around the locker room, but we've seen him during the game, non-stop talking during his teammates. He's like an extra coach. He's got 6 assists, 4 rebounds to go with those 17 points. A rare smile on the bench.
I'd smile too if I had Kobe on my team.
Lakers back up by 3. Pass inside, gets to Gortat. Gortat can't finish. The length of Bynum altering that shot.
And that's doing multiple things. Bynum stopping the pick and roll and not giving up on the play, getting back.
Bryant expecting Brown to be in the corner. He says, stay there. Brown was going to the basket to try and get an offensive rebound.
Don't point the finger, Kobe. That one's on you, buddy.
And then game 4, also on Thursday. Magic trying to make sure a game 5 will be definite after tonight. That game will start earlier at 8 Eastern. 2-3-2 format. Meanwhile, Lamar Odom getting it done for the Lakers here in the 4th.
Phil Jackson thinking, you play this way, eat all the junk food you want. Good job of putting it on the floor. Aggressive, active. Talking about the complete player when he plays with confidence. Who could make the sunshine? Certainly the Candyman can.
Well, I like the nickname, longtime PR man of the Lakers, John Black. He calls him the human Swiss Army knife. He can do a little bit of everything, and he has been just terrific in the last 3+ games for these playoffs. And a foul down low. This one's going to go against Bynum. That's 5 on Bynum.
Again, I say, I'm not sure that's a good thing for Orlando because here comes Lamar Odom.
We could have a first time ever where an opposing coach says, that's not a foul. Let him play through that. Wanting Andrew Bynum to stay on the floor because of the damage that Lamar Odom is doing.
And a very unusual lineup for Orlando. No true point guard on the floor. J.J. Redick at the point to try to get some more shooting. Turkoglu handling the ball.
Shot clock winding down. Turkoglu way off the mark. Lewis keeps it alive. When Nelson went out with the injury, Turkoglu often did that in the 4th quarter. He is a playmaker. The guy at 6'10" that can handle the ball. J.J. Redick 0 for 5 in the first half. They'd love to see him get on track a bit. Howard out to Redick. Shot clock at 7. Redick kicks it out. Lewis pulls up. Shot's good. Rashard Lewis able to knock it down. Just his 2nd field goal of the second half.
I like what Redick did. Don't fall in love with the jumper. Put the ball on the floor and look to make a play. Good job of being aggressive off the catch, off of Howard's outside pass.
And I agree with that. I think, again, he still has got to look more to the basket because they're not coming on his drive.
1-point Laker lead. Beatrice does a good job keeping Bryant in front of him. Shot clock at 2. Odom has to put it up, and he puts it in. Lamar Odom, 8 points here in the 4th quarter. Chance of defense. They want to get it to Howard. Here comes the double team. Howard blocked for the foul. And the crowd reacts. But Howard will go to the free throw line. He's only been there. This will be his 5th and 6th free throw attempts. That after 16 in game 1.
Well, I thought they had him earlier in the possession. They missed him. Howard faces up and drives it all the way across the lane. I thought that's a good play by Pau Gasol on the block.
I'm slicing up a tape and I'm showing it the next practice. There's been 10 times tonight where Dwight Howard has been open, ready to catch the basketball in the paint, and his perimeter guys have not been able to deliver the pass.
Well, they're not a good passing team. They have very limited passers, and it really hinders you when a team like LA plays with such length and are playing very, very hard as well.
Howard, 2 clutch free throws there. He's 4 of 6 here tonight. Magic down by 1. Down 1-0 in the series. Kobe Bryant on the pull-up. 20 for Kobe Bryant.
And that's by design. If you're Dwight Howard, you have to be closer to Bryant coming off that screen.
Ariza on Turkoglu. Turkoglu finally started to get it going in the third quarter. Falling away. High banker. Bounces around and drops in. I don't know if Howard tipped it. I don't think so.
But Turkoglu did a little bit of what Kobe Bryant did last game. Comes off the screen and then veers back into the path of his defender so that Howard can get a roll to the rim.
Bryant, hard screen set. As Beatrice got whacked by Gasol.
The difference that time, Howard was there ready for Bryant.
Bryant gets away and he stepped out of bounds. That will not count.
That's the best turnover I've ever seen. Did you just see what that guy did? Dribbled out of bounds, balanced himself, and made a corner 3. That should be on the highlights. That's top 10.
Instead, it's the 10th turnover for the Lakers, 13 for the Magic. Lewis fires a 3. That's good. That's his 5th three-pointer of the game, and the Magic go up by 2, causing Phil Jackson to call timeout. 27 now for Rashard Lewis.
You're not missing anything not having a point guard on the floor, especially when Turkoglu is a guy that you trust to make plays. Pick and roll finds Lewis. Gotcha. Excellent offense from the Magic.
And they finally exploded with 30 points in the third quarter. Lewis in the second, Turkoglu in the third. Kobe Bryant had a quiet start, starting to heat up. But you see the difference in Orlando shooting. They're finally getting shots to go down. Jeff, you talk about it all the time. Make or miss league. They're making them in the second half.
Well, and their passing has been good. It's been on target. It's led them into good opportunities. And I think it's really centered around Turkoglu and Dwight Howard passing the ball very well.
And you can't underestimate the impact J.J. Redick on the floor. His presence, he's a shooter that you've got to be respected.
Bryant, nice fake, getting rid of Petrus. Pass deflected by Howard. Ball still loose, knocked off out of bounds, and it's going to be Magic ball. Dwight Howard, good play there to deflect that pass.
Well, more so careless play by Bryant. Had a foul line jump shot, turned it down. That's actually a 6th turnover in the ballgame.
Just past the midway point of the fourth. Orlando once again has bounced back after a bad performance. Can they finish it out? His pass, Turkoglu's deflected. Bryant looking. Driving, shooting. Ariza gets it, tried to force it up there, knocked around, ball still loose. Odom comes up with a loose ball. Fisher on the drive to the basket, banks it in. The veteran Fisher ties the game. Turkoglu again, he's the playmaker. Lewis. And a reach-in foul on Odom. Odom very upset. That's his 5th personal.
And if you're the Lakers, no way in the world you could be upset with this play. This is part of the way that Kobe Bryant makes a living. We've seen him do this time and time again. That's just a smart play by Rashard Lewis.
Lewis still arguing, but he clearly fouled him. Well, Odom's still arguing, excuse me. Lewis back to the line. 27 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists for Rashard Lewis. Free throws are going to be enormous down the stretch.
It's amazing how many times NBA players complain and are dead wrong.
Right.
The percentage is like so high. If they say it, it's usually wrong.
Ariza knocked away. Howard the rebound. And here's Turkoglu. After Lewis, an open 3. Fight for the rebound, and a loose ball foul is going to go down the other end. Dwight Howard picks up his 3rd. 2nd team foul for Orlando.
I tell you what, if I'm Stan Van Gundy, I don't mind the way that we're playing right now. You get stops, you push the ball, you attack the offensive boards. Good things will happen if you continue to play this way.
I didn't see anything on that rebound. But I agree with you, Mark. That's a good possession. Play fast.
Boy, that's a tough shot. Howard defended him beautifully.
But that's the skill of Gasol. He can shoot it, he can drive it, he can pass it, he can catch it.
Another solid game for Pau Gasol, 15 and 8. Howard down the other end. Lost it, and they call a foul on Gasol. Now that one almost looked like Howard lost the ball.
Well, it's actually not on Gasol. Trevor Ariza on the slap down, so the correct call was made. You know, you're right, Mike. Pau Gasol is straight up, but Trevor Ariza looking to double team gets the arm of Dwight Howard.
It's amazing how many Academy Award-winning actors are wrong about Paul.
See Jack vertical?
Howard back to the line. 12 points, 16 rebounds. Crowd trying to distract him, and he rolls around. Here's the reaction from Laker fan number 1.
Jack had better hops in his youth, but I love his passion.
.413 remaining. Clutch free throws from Dwight Howard. Stan Van Gundy was talking just yesterday about how impressed he is. Howard, even throughout these playoffs, has really been working on his free throws. They've now made 7 straight after they have missed 5 in a row. Bryant, back out Fisher. Fisher for 3. Turkoglu the rebound.
I don't like that double by J.J. Redick. I thought that was a poor defensive decision.
Fisher's hit so many big shots in his position. Howard, here comes the double team. Bad pass stolen by Ariza. Trevor Ariza, another steal. That's 3. Bryant the drive, blocked by Howard, but a foul. The foul's going to be on Petrus as Kobe Bryant gets knocked down. Five on Petrus.
Well, again, when Bryant has the ball in the perimeter, he's going to drive it hard. Good help by Dwight Howard. I couldn't see on the angle if there was a foul. That's not a foul on Petrus. I think that's a tough call.
Bryant actually missed a free throw earlier. Misses one there. He's been so good, 90% from the line in the playoffs, as we said earlier.
Tough play of your Petrus. You've done your job, and the help has also done their job behind you. Bryant goes to the line now.
It's 1 of 2, 1-point game.
I like the idea of going inside to Dwight Howard. The Lakers already committed to double teaming, finding a shooter on the floor. It should be an inside-outside attack for the Magic.
Turkoglu to Lewis. Howard looking, he's been patient. Turkoglu steps back, now drives, steps back, falling away. Offensive foul. Leaned in as Trevor Ariza drew the charge.
You got to trust your game. In that situation, Howard passes out. Turkoglu step into a shot. You've been doing it all season long. It's too late to turn down wide open shots. You had Ariza on his heels. You turn it down. You're forced into a turnover.
Not a lot. The right hand extending a bit. Not a lot of contact. But Trevor Ariza's made so many big defensive plays. Bryant jump shot. He's fouled. And Petrus is fouled out in 24 minutes. And that hurts because he does a solid job defensively. Markel Petrus, only 2 points.
My question is, who are you putting in? Are you putting in a smaller point guard? Are you putting in Courtney Lee? Or you're going to have to double Bryant?
Well, if I was Stan Van Gundy coaching the Magic right now, Courtney Lee would be the guy that I would go to. You need the size. You also need the spacing of the floor on the offensive end.
You were Stan Van Gundy. He'd be your brother. Imagine that.
I take that back.
Why? I played nice when I was a kid growing up. Stan always got to be Batman. I was Robin. Come on. I knew my role.
The guy is Courtney Lee, Jeff, as he comes in, the rookie. He's had some really good moments in the playoffs. A very poised rookie, played 4 years of college ball at Western Kentucky, got into the starting lineup second half of the season, and has been in there ever since.
And the problem, though, is the size factor. So now, even if a double team comes, Bryant can get off a quality shot, and it's going to open them up on second shots. I would be very tempted to put Courtney Lee on Ariza and Turkoglu or Rashard Lewis on Bryant.
Meanwhile, Petrus, the only Magic player in foul trouble. Odom has 5 and Bynum 5 for the Lakers.
And actually, just yesterday, Turkoglu was a guy that told us, I'd like to have the challenge of defending Kobe Bryant. Be careful what you ask for.
1 point Laker lead under 3 minutes remaining. A game that's had 19 lead changes. J.J. Redick looking for Howard. Good defense from Gasol. Howard lost it. Here comes Fisher. Fisher on the drive, stripped by Redick, knocked out of bounds. And we'll have a timeout. The Orlando Magic desperate for a road win to tie this NBA Finals up at 1 apiece. Dwight Howard playing much better. Lamar Odom, another strong game. Lewis has been sensational. And the closer ready to close. It's a 1-point Laker lead. 2 of the NBA Finals hanging in the balance. Right now, Lakers by 1. Magic turned it around, but will it result in a victory? Phil Jackson talking to his team at a recent huddle to try and prevent it.
Now, let's start getting this stuff together now. Too many things have happened. You know, little fouls. We're in the penalty. Second chance rebounds. We're not getting the ball back. We got to start making things happen for us before it gets too late.
Well, the man that makes things happen, usually Kobe Bryant, but Lamar Odom and Trevor Ariza have made big plays, as is Gasol. And Turkoglu calls for the foul. Now they're in the penalty. Bryant stays down longer. It's actually just a little bit of a rest. One bounces up.
One thing,
he's banged up a little bit more.
But one thing you can't do to close out ball games when you're trying to get stops. You can't allow offensive teams, you can't let them off the hook. By fouling players, you're giving them 3 points.
He just fell down.
Yeah, it didn't look like much of a push, more maybe tripped up, and he's going to go back to the line where he is 6 of 8.
Well, you're absolutely right about that.
He's gotten the benefit, and it happens when they're like on that drive with Pietrus. A little bit in for the doubt. It happens. You got to play through it. You can't let it be frustrating.
Pietrus is fouled out. Now the rookie Courtney Lee came in. Turkoglu guarding him on that play. Lakers by 3, 2:40 to play. Largest lead in the fourth quarter has been 3. Largest lead of the second half, 5. This has been a close one.
See, Rashard Lewis right there, you have an advantage. You got to make a play. Drive it to the rim. Don't let him double team.
Good passing, Redick for 3. J.J. Redick ties the game with 2:19 remaining. His first field goal of the night.
That's why you keep a shooter in the ball game. Hot or cold, he's still a shooter. Trust his game, and J.J. Redick rewards his coach.
Their 9th three-pointer. All even at 84, 2 minutes remaining. Bryant on the drive on Turkoglu, falling away. Won't go. Rebound, Lewis. Bryant thought he got fouled that time. Good defense from Turkoglu.
If you're Turkoglu, you have to get the basketball.
Turkoglu. Lewis trying to post up Ariza. Here comes Gasol to help. Lewis spinning. He's tied up. Leans in and banks it in. What a shot from Rashard Lewis. And the Magic regain the lead. 31 for Lewis.
And they're going to go Bryant, Gasol, pick and roll. You got to make sure right now Bryant's a passer.
Turkoglu on Bryant. Turkoglu close to 5. Got to be careful there. Shot clock at 6. Bryant on the drive. The runner looks to bank it. Does. Ties the game.
And Dwight Howard on that has to help and make Bryant kick that out to Gasol.
Coming up on a minute remaining. Turkoglu. Ariza trying to slap it away. Turkoglu sees the shot clock down to 6. Turkoglu tied up. Turkoglu looking. Turkoglu pulls up, puts it up, knocks it down. A two-pointer for Turkoglu. And the Magic back up by 2. 47.7 seconds remaining. And the Staples Center just went very quiet. Clutch shots from both teams right now. The latest from Hedo Turkoglu.
Well, the Lakers did an outstanding job in defending this whole possession, but Turkoglu's size is a factor. A good step back, got separation, right foot on the three-point line. Almost stepped out of bounds. Big-time shot by Hedo Turkoglu.
47.7 seconds remaining. There you see both teams with multiple timeouts, neither with a foul to give. Right now, Orlando leading by 2 as they try and tie this series up at 1 game apiece. Game 1 was one of the worst shooting performances in finals history for the Magic. But we've said all along they're one of the more resilient teams we've seen in the postseason in years. They fought back from several crushing last-second defeats to come back with a victory. They've had huge road wins. Beat the Celtics Game 7 in Boston. Beat Philadelphia Game 6 in Philadelphia without Dwight Howard. And also beat Cleveland in Game 1 to set the tone of that series. So many big road wins. Can they do it again here tonight?
Well, it's a 2-for-1 right here. And they're going to attack early in the clock.
And there's no way if I'm Stan Van Gundy, I'm going to let Kobe Bryant play one-on-one.
Bryant kicks it out to Fisher. Fisher fakes. Fisher drives. Pass deflected by Howard. Gets to Gasol, and he lays it in to tie it up with 33.5 seconds left.
But I thought that was good defense. Got a deflection that randomly went to Gasol. Good play by Gasol to finish.
Turkoglu with Ariza on him. Again, the Lakers do not have a foul to give. Any foul puts you on the free throw line. Boy, a lot of contact there. Turkoglu looking. Finding Courtney Lee, the rookie with Bryant on him. Shot clock down to 5. Lee makes his move. Lee to the basket. Puts it up. Won't go. Rebound Odom with 9.5 seconds to go. Calls timeout. The rookie went to the basket but couldn't get it to go down.
And here's the not having a point guard on the floor. You like the move by Courtney Lee, but if your ball has to either be in your hands or Dwight Howard's hands.
9 seconds remaining. Laker ball when we come back.
Well, coming out of the timeout, LA went to Gasol Bryant pick and roll. Well defended. Good drive by Fisher. Deflected by Howard. That is how close it is between winning and losing.
That one tied the game at 88. And Orlando went down the other end. Courtney Lee couldn't get his shot to go. Lakers with good defense. And now you see Lakers down to their final timeout with 9.1 remaining. We certainly expect the ball to go to Kobe Bryant's hands, correct?
And they're taking it out full court. To me, if I'm Orlando, I am trapping Bryant as soon as I can.
The Magic do not have a foul to give. Here comes Odom. Odom brings it up. Odom back out to Bryant. Bryant looking. Bryant driving. Bryant blocked from behind by Turkoglu. And the Magic try and call timeout. The buzzer sounds, but they'll put some time back on the clock. It depends on how many seconds. Hedo Turkoglu recovers beautifully and makes the defensive play as Bryant's very upset. Now the key, how many seconds will they put back up on the clock?
You wanted the opportunity to play Bryant one-on-one. I love the fact that Turkoglu did not give up on the play. Got beat in penetration, got back to the body of Kobe Bryant, contests the shot, comes up with a big-time shot of Bryant's attempt.
And now Steve Javie will go on an instant replay. We'll check to see when the player, now let's watch. There you see the time. The block. Recovery, timeout. Maybe like
8 tenths
at the most.
That's just great defense, though, by Turkoglu. How many guys give up on that play and say, Dwight Howard, bail me out? He got back into the picture and blocked the shot of Bryant.
All right, so Steve Javie has the headset on. He's looking at the replay. Here, again, you have to see when Turkoglu gains possession, calls timeout. Human time to call the time. Blows his whistle right there. Well, maybe like 5 or 6 tenths. That's plenty of time to catch and shoot. You can catch and shoot at 3 tenths. He'll advance the ball to the front court. And here's where instant replay is so important for the officials to be able to look at it. Boy, Turkoglu, just terrific recovery. Ball started with about, I think, Jeff.
Well, and for Orlando coming down as we see the block again, it's so vital that you don't throw the ball in unless a guy's wide open. You've got plenty of timeouts to burn. There's no need to throw it in to throw a desperation shot.
So they're going to make it 6 tenths to go on the clock. And again, that's plenty of time to get off the shot. We've seen these finals with a couple of unbelievable buzzer beaters. Of course, the Magic certainly remember Game 2 against Cleveland. LeBron James able to put it in. And the key now for Orlando is that they still have 2 timeouts remaining. So if they have trouble getting it in where they want, they can call another timeout.
Well, actually, during the course of the season, I don't know if you recall, Coach, but the Orlando Magic actually beat, I believe it was the San Antonio Spurs with an out-of-bounds play, lob pass to Dwight Howard. So they do have that in their repertoire.
All right, they've got a couple of guys who are obviously good three-point shooters. We had Hedo Turkoglu and Rashard Lewis. Both have broken out of their mini slumps with big games. Who do you go to in this point?
Who's ever open. You're just trying to get an open shot. Most teams will switch, so you're trying to cause some confusion in their switching defense.
Now, will we see Lamar Odom guard the inbounds pass? He did such a sensational job in the Denver series to force some bad passes from the Nuggets.
Well, if it continues to work, you continue to do it. But one thing I look to see is Dwight Howard slash to the hoop, surround the floor with shooters. The Orlando Magic can get a good look. Is about executing.
There's also the possibility of the alley-oop.
And Lamar Odom is going to be on the inbounder.
You know, Coach, but the size of Turkoglu makes Lamar Odom's limp not that much of a factor.
Gasol was out there on Howard. Ariza on Lewis. And Bryant on Courtney Lee. 6/10 of a second. You can catch and shoot easily in that time. Tie game. They look and see what they have. And they call another timeout. A 20-second timeout. The Lakers denied on that attempt.
Talk about Turkoglu. He plays Kobe one-on-one and says he don't. Good job of getting back in the picture and blocking the shot of Bryant.
6/10 of a second remaining. Turkoglu will inbound. Odom right up on the inbounds pass. 6/10 of a second remaining. Alley-oop to Lee. Lee won't go, and we go to overtime. Boy, you couldn't ask for a better shot opportunity.
Wow.
What a great play coming out of the timeout. Courtney Lee discusses it with Turkoglu before he even inbounds the basketball. Outstanding screen, outstanding execution. Courtney Lee just not able to finish it. This is a good screen by Rashard Lewis. No communication by the Lakers. Courtney Lee, the lob misses the layup. But a great job by Stan Van Gundy. Out.
Howard put it in, but obviously sounded. A good opportunity. The rookie Lee had that drive to the basket that wouldn't go, and that one right there. Gasol did a good job of contesting it, but it wasn't to be. These Magic 4 minutes to try and get this road win.
I'll tell you what's important. Watching the Magic come out of the huddle, guys talking to Courtney Lee. Forget about it, young fella. We have 5 more minutes to play a basketball. Let that play go.
The young fella has to play. Michael Petras, who's been guarding Kobe Bryant a lot in the series, has fouled out. J.J. Redick hit a big 3 at the end of the fourth quarter. Howard against Gasol, spinning, goes up, stripped to the ball again. That's happened several times tonight.
And if you're Dwight Howard, recognize that Derek Fisher is leaving J.J. Redick wide open. Continue to set him up and make the passes that you've made all game long.
Gasol, single coverage on Howard. Bryant fakes the three. Shot clock at 7. Shot clock at 2. Bryant puts it up. Off the mark, won't go. Lewis the rebound. Lewis has had a huge game. 31 points, now 10 rebounds. Redick looking, bounces it off Howard. Turkoglu on the drive. Shuffles it out, out of bounds, off of Turkoglu's leg. He wanted a foul call. And Rafer Alston will re-enter the game. Nope, he didn't get there in time. Well, it did go off Turkoglu, but he felt he got hit. Alston's been sitting for quite some time. But Jeff Van Gundy needs a ball handler out there. Turkoglu maybe getting a bit tired.
So the Stan Van Gundy.
Sorry. Just a matter of time before I said that. Odom. Ariza up top to Fisher. Shot clock winding down. Fisher inside to Gasol. And Gasol is fouled.
And Fisher's doing a really good job driving the ball. But I'm not so sure he's driving to score. I would fake at him and try to take away the dish to Gasol. He's just trying to draw Dwight Howard. To me, that's a cover. Fisher, good catch in tight quarters.
Gasol hits the free throw. 78% free throw shooter during the regular season. Only 70% during the playoffs.
And you think the reason Stan Van Gundy decides to get Rafer Alston in the ballgame, wants to run offense, having a tough time getting into their sets, goes with the traditional point guard looking to run their offense.
2 big free throws there. Lakers have been shooting free throws extremely well the last several games.
And trying to maybe get more pace into it if they get a defensive rebound.
Ariza right up on Turkoglu again. Ariza fighting over the screens. Turkoglu looking, lobs it into Howard. Howard up, shot, it's good, and a foul. That time Howard finishes in a chance for a 3-point play.
And Mike, a big key, and Mark, going back to your point, is why do you insert him? So Turkoglu can run a pick and roll off a live ball versus having to dribble it up the court. Now he draws Gasol out. Good entry. Hey, and that's a good job by Howard of catching it and being stronger with the ball with Bryant around it.
Howard has hit his free throws tonight for the most part. You see the numbers, 6 of 8. Knocks that one down, and Orlando back up by 1. 21st lead change. Again, this game has not been, in terms of a margin, more than 3 from the fourth quarter on. So close as Bryant drives on Turkoglu. Odom goes right back to him. Turkoglu at 6'10" has length. Bryant, one dribble, kicks it out. Ariza for 3. Won't go. Turkoglu the rebound.
I like that closeout by J.J. Redick.
Lewis kicks it out. Redick, wide open 3. Off the mark. And Gasol, the rebound is 9.
That's a good find by Rashard Lewis making the play. J.J. Redick had a wide open look.
Magic by 1 with 2.5 remaining in OT. Most of the crowd on their feet here at Staples Center. Bryant, jab step, drive, puts it up, shot's good. Tough shot, the Lakers back up by 1.
Oh, Turkoglu is doing a very good job of making Bryant work. Those are tough shots.
Coming up on 2 minutes remaining. Lewis to Redick. Redick hesitant. Now on the drive, bounce pass, bad one, stolen by Fisher. Here comes Fisher. Fisher goes right at Turkoglu and draws the foul. Smart play from the veteran. He could see that pass coming and then goes down the other end and draws the foul. 5 on Turkoglu.
Well, again, J.J. Redick, when he's driving the ball, has got to drive to score. There's no one there. Shoot the ball. And then coming back the other way, Derek Fisher's not even thinking about making the shot. He's just thinking about drawing contact and working himself to the free throw line.
Derek Fisher, the other Laker, looking for his 4th championship ring.
And here's what the difference between the good ones and the great ones. Able to take the contact down the stretch. That's good defense, but better offense. Uses the body to get a little bit of airspace and then floats away from the contest.
Fisher gets the second one to go. One of the better free throw shooters in the NBA, and the Lakers lead by 3. Lewis. Hands off Turkoglu. Right back to Lewis. They want to get it to Howard. Shot clock down to 7. Lewis back up top. Turkoglu, tough shot, falling away. In and out. That one halfway down before Gasol gets the rebound. Orlando over the limit right now, so any foul puts LA at the free throw line. Bryant looks inside, finds Gasol. Gasol, count it, and a foul as the Lakers go up by 5.
And it's Bryant making plays. High pick and roll with Gasol. Looks like he's looking to score. Good job of delivering the pass. Trusting your receiver. Pau Gasol once again with those great hands, the catch and the finish.
Kobe Bryant had 8 assists in game 1. He's got 8 more assists here in game 2. And that last one enables the Lakers to take a 6-point lead. It's the largest lead of the second half. And certainly here in overtime. The Lakers trying to take a 7-0 run here. Orlando ball when we return. 1:14 remaining overtime. Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Lakers now with a 6-point lead. There you see again multiple timeouts remaining. Lakers still have a foul to give. Still plenty of time, Jeff, for Orlando to try and get this. They don't have to start jacking up threes by any stretch.
No, they've just got to get a good look. And it's harder now because Lamar Odom has made it very difficult for Rashard Lewis.
Orlando has 3 costly turnovers here in this overtime, and a foul called on Ariza. A little over aggressive fighting through the screen. That's his 3rd, and that was their 1 foul to give. So Orlando will inbound. Next one will put the Magic at the free throw line. Turkoglu. Lewis trying to fight through. Redick on the drive. Redick inside. Kicks it back out to Lewis. Back to Redick. Shot clock at 8. Redick on the drive. Strong to the goal, and he banks it in. And it's a 4-point game.
But that's the difference. Exactly what Coach was talking about. Put his head down and look to be a scorer. Not for somebody to bail him out.
Under a minute remaining in overtime. Bryant to the basket. Stripped by Turkoglu. Magic ball. Kobe Bryant can't believe the call. Turkoglu with another good defensive play.
But you watch the Orlando Magic looking to double team. Rashard Lewis looks to double team. Good job by Turkoglu once again. Not play. Certainly didn't look like it went off the leg of Bryant, but Magic have the basketball.
38 seconds remaining. Right back into Turkoglu's hands. Redick. Lewis launches a 3. In and out. Again, another one halfway down. And then a loose ball foul. Dwight Howard arguing the call as he picks up his 4th. Well, that's a couple of shots for the Magic. Those rattled in and out.
Again, good execution, good look. Ball, like you said, rattles in and out. It's the difference between winning and losing.
And now free throws for Pau Gasol.
The drive and kick. Rashard Lewis steps in. Gets a good look. Just not able to finish.
Lakers from the free throw line, 21 of 25. That's 84%. Lead back up to 5. Every free throw critical. Stan Van Gundy calls timeout. A 20-second timeout. 99-93 in overtime. Orlando will have it when we come back. 28.2 seconds remaining in Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Orlando Magic forcing the overtime, but right now down by 6. It's their ball with 28.2 remaining. Then you see timeouts left. They are down to 1. So now at this point, guys, do you have to start thinking about putting up threes on this possession?
I think you do. I think you have to drive the ball to the rim, hopefully collapse the defense, but definitely looking for the three-point shot.
Absolutely. It's about scoring the basketball and scoring quickly, and then you want to pick up looking to steal the basketball first and then commit fouls.
It's been a great turnaround performance for the Magic after getting blown out in Game 1 by 25. They forced overtime, had a chance to win it at the buzzer, but will they fall short and have another gut-wrenching defeat? They've had their share of them here in this postseason. Alston looking. Turkoglu comes up top. They don't get it to him. Lewis launches it up. That's good. A three-pointer for Lewis. And that makes it a three-point game. They're going to review it, though. The initial signal on the floor was it was a three-pointer.
Again, very good execution by Orlando out of a timeout.
Lewis has hit some big three-pointers in this playoffs. Well, it's so is shielding the right foot to see if the right toe is on. Two officials both signaled three.
This should tell you right here,
yeah.
Mike.
I can't tell on that one. So close. Gets behind. Initially, again, you don't know if that right toe inched closer, but when he made the pivot, like it was just behind the line, and it should be a three-pointer.
Well, to me, it looked like a three-pointer. That's a tough shot. That first, the right foot did a good job of setting and knocking down the shot.
And if they can't tell, they have to go what they called on the floor. And what they called on the floor was a three.
Right. For them to change it, they've got to see it now. If it is a three and stands, and most likely it will, it's a three-point game. Now some strategy. Do the Magic foul? There's a 2.2 difference shot clock and game clock.
They absolutely need to foul.
All right. This is blown up a bit, so I have a better chance to... We'll get to look at it hopefully in a second. Officials continue to look at it.
2.2 seconds is not enough of a difference because if you shoot it as the shot clock expires and the ball isn't cleanly rebounded, you may not get a rebound, a timeout, and then the ability to get the last shot up.
So the players waiting for the ruling. Steve Javie continues to look. Now, we've got on one of our ISO areas, and it looks like the foot's behind. Now, by that, I mean, it's awfully close.
And
yeah,
actually,
you can see a little white in front between the sneaker and the blue line.
And actually, that's the same monitor that the referees were taking a look at. They declared that it's actually a three-pointer.
And, you know, some people say, well, the instant replay slows the game down. No, instant replay is good in limited circumstances. Give the NBA a lot of credit for instituting it. And I like this double team of Bryant.
Lewis and Lee on him.
And it's important in this situation to look to go for the steal. Don't just bail him out and foul him. Look to come up with a steal.
Or try and force an 8-second backcourt violation. Again, the Magic do not have any fouls to give, and they're down to one timeout as they trail by 3 here in overtime.
If I couldn't get it in, I'd want that ball going back to Lamar Odom. He has had opportunities where he has not converted.
Now, they've got to change the substitution.
They can't substitute on a made basket just because there was a stoppage in play.
So Lee's going to have to come out. Turkoglu will go back in. Normally you can't, but they stopped play because of the instant replay. Odom looking. Good ball denial on Bryant. They get it to Fisher. Fisher in the backcourt. Throws it ahead to Odom. And Odom fouled by Redick. That's good execution there by the Orlando Magic. Odom is not a great free throw shooter.
Absolutely. How many teams do we see panic initially and foul Derek Fish in that situation? An excellent free throw shooter, a proven guy. Wait until he gives up the basketball and they foul them all.
He's 59% from the line in the playoffs. He's had another terrific game, but he's not been a strong free throw shooter. Clutch right there for Lamar Odom.
And if you're J.J. Redick, you've got to block Kobe Bryant out so he doesn't get on the run for a second shot. This free throw rebound is important, particularly if there's a back tap situation.
Lakers have now hit 14 straight free throws. They lead by 5. Austin pushing it up. Redick catches. Redick on the drive. Redick pulls back, puts up the three. Won't go. Rebound Lewis. Lewis brings it back out. Lewis forces it up. That's off the mark. Ariza the rebound, and that'll do it. The Lakers survive and win game 2 in overtime. Kobe Bryant and the Lakers take a 2-0 lead in this NBA Finals. They were extended right to the very end as Dwight Howard and the Magic, a terrific comeback, but not enough. And they'll head home to Orlando after a very difficult loss, but they, as we said earlier, have had their share of tough losses. A much better performance. Rashard Lewis, Hedo Turkoglu finally got their shooting going. They had their chance to win it at the end of regulation. Couldn't get it to go down. And the Lakers took advantage. Kobe Bryant, 29 more points, 8 more assists. He's with Doris.
Kobe, a year ago you guys failed in this exact stage. How much did the experience you gained there help you close a tough game out?
Well, it was good. You know, it was the first close game we've had in about 3 games. And the last one was a tough one in Denver. So, we learned from that. We know how to play, in close games. And we did a good job down the stretch.
You made a lot of free throws down the stretch, 14 straight, but it was the most experienced players, Lamar and Derek and yourself and Pau, who made the difference. Why?
Well, they were helping, and so we did a good job spacing, and they did a great job in converting plays. But I felt like defensively we did a much better job. We blew a lot of assignments tonight, and we still managed to get a win.
There was a play late where you went to Pau Gasol. What were you thinking on that option?
Well, I was just waiting to see what Dwight was going to do. Was he going to come to me and let me, score the ball? Or was he, you're going to stay with Pau, let me score, come to me and free up Pau? And he did the latter, and Pau got a big and one.
The series shifts to Orlando now. You guys have been criticized in the past when you get up 2-0 of having a letdown. How do you prohibit that?
No, it's no letdown. If they're going to beat us, they're going to beat us. We're in the finals. We're ready to go.
If Hedo and Rashard continue to make shots, what are the keys on the other guys?
Well, you got to close out closer to them. These guys, shots that you think are tough shots are easy for them. So you got to be literally in their jerseys when they shoot the basketball because they'll shoot it right in your face to make it.
Kobe, congratulations. Good luck in Orlando. Mike?
All right, Doris, that's 4 straight wins now by the Lakers. Last 2 in Denver. And the first 2 against Orlando. Tonight's finals player of the game presented by T-Mobile. Kobe Bryant, 29, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. He had help again. Mentioned Pau Gasol, 24 and 10 for Pau Gasol. As Kobe Bryant and the Lakers 2 wins away from another NBA championship.